Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tent of Abraham. I'm Tamir Kreisman from Jerusalem, Israel. And once again, we're in Calling All Jews. This one is called Spies Among Us. So 2 weeks ago, we read Parshat Shlach, the story of the spies. In the diaspora, we all read that last week. Now this teaching, right now, where we're at, this comes within the 40 days that the spies were in the land of Israel. And that started from the 29th of Sivan, which started on Motzei Shabbat, for the 40 days going through until the 9th of Av. So this time is actually critical. There's a certain energy that passes with this time. Also, we know that the months of Tammuz and Av are two of the hardest months for the Jewish people, according to our history. If something bad can potentially happen, you got to be careful. Don't take any unnecessary risks. And it is also very apparent as what happened yesterday, Rosh Chodesh. We are in Rosh Chodesh, by the way, Chodesh Tov, with our bestest of all friends in the world. So this is a situation right now. Now, I've heard wonderful teachings, many wonderful teachings over the years of the result of what the spies did, how they incited Israel to cry out and to complain to God. And we all know what came next. God said, you think you're crying and complaining now? Wait for it. I'll give you a reason to cry. Now, if you ask any somewhat knowledgeable Jew, what was the sin of the spies? What did they do? And across the board, they will all tell you exactly what it says in the Torah. And this from Numbers 15:32. They spread an evil report about the land. Okay. Now, what happened as a result? As we know, that this evil speech, which took place on the 9th of Av, brought about the following. Just so you understand, you want to see God's timeline? Here it is. The horrible death, first of all, of 10 out of the 12 spies who brought the evil report. If you actually read the Midrash, what happened to them, you want none of that. Not to mention the plague amongst the people, but also the entire generation of the wilderness. Those aged 20 and up would die in the desert, not entering into the promised land, because they joined in within the wailing, except for Joshua and Caleb, of course. The destruction of both first and second temples took place on this date. The fall of Beitar and its sages in 135 CE happened on this date. The decree for the Spanish Inquisition was executed on the 9th of Av, 1492. Also, the start of World War I in 1914 took place on the 9th of Av. Hitler's final solution was given the green light on the 9th of Av. This day would be a day of mourning, lamenting, and fasting until the third and final temple will be rebuilt, bimhera b'yameinu. Because of the sin of the spies, we are still in exile. Yes, like we said, even today. As the sages say, the generation in which the temple is not built, it is as if it was destroyed in its day. Meaning, we need to mourn today as if we witnessed the destruction of the temple and every day that it is not built. But here lies the problem, my Jewish brethren. These incredible teachings that I hear from very wise and very learned rabbis in the diaspora, that is actually what scares me. And that is what should absolutely terrify you. As is the name of this series, Calling All Jews from the Diaspora. And that's why this particular message, please spread this message. Send it to everyone you know. May God make sure it gets into the hands of the right people. And the right people hear this. But please, I'm asking you, please, just this message. Forget about all the other just send this one out to everyone, especially if you know Jews. Okay? Thank you. So, I'm talking to you right now, specifically the Jews in the diaspora, particularly Orthodox Jews, because you have access to everything I'm saying over here. For such wise and learned, God-fearing people, leaders of the Jewish communities abroad, they do not see. What do they not see? That they themselves are the spies. They don't see it, but they are. Now, I'm telling you, this is not an accusation. This is a wake-up call. They don't for a minute believe that they're the bad guys, but then again, neither do any of the villains throughout history, as everyone believes they are on the right and that they're good. Yep, even the Nazis, you think like, oh, we are the bad guys. No, we're the good guys and the Jews are the bad guys. Okay, everybody believes they're the good guys. People are not aware of this. And so, that is why we are not discussing opinions here, because we all have those and really nobody cares. We are bringing Torah, the Word of God. So, challenge that on your own peril. These teachers will not teach you the two main reasons behind the evil speech of the land. Oh, it's the evil speech of the land. But what happened behind them? Dig into that. The first being that they didn't want to leave the wilderness, right? That if you actually dig into it, why did they give this evil report? They didn't want to leave. Now, it wasn't like it was an arid wasteland that they were in, as we know, but rather it was the best and most comfortable place in the world at that time. Very comfortable. In other words, comfort and convenience. Within this reason, they also did not want to lose their positions of power. They were the heads of Israel, the influencers of the Jewish people, if you will. In Israel, today, in most places, we do not have a rabbi per synagogue. There isn't the Rav of this and the Rav of that. Since most people here are extremely learned, we have about like 20 rabbis in every synagogue. Now, this is not to take away from the importance of a rabbi, yes? But what I'm saying is, it's everywhere. You don't need that in America, right? You got your one guy and that's it, you go about your way, but we're going to see why. Where I pray, for instance, our Gabbai has more knowledge and experience than 20 rabbis combined, all right? But again, people know what to do. People help each other. If I have a halachic question, there's no shortage of who to ask. Thereby dissolving these ridiculous situations by which the people of the community never think for themselves and they go ask the rabbi everything. That's not how it is to be done. That's not how it is in Israel. It's how it is in the diaspora. That is not the job of the rabbi, but that is how they made it in the States, at least. Rabbis are supposed to give guidance, yes, and encourage you to learn for yourself. Rabbi, I got this about Rabbi. What does the rabbi say? You stop thinking for yourself. What does the rabbi say? Then you got to wonder, is the rabbi going against Torah? So we have to compare, right? Also, and this is probably the biggest issue, for the most part, rabbis do not get paid salaries here, as a very few are career rabbis. Like I said, synagogues have rabbis, okay? They all have jobs like everyone else. So they have smicha, and that's like a rabbinic degree. All this ties with comfort and convenience. Now, if you're just joining us in the tent of Abraham, and you are a Jew living outside the land of Israel, you owe it to yourself and your family to go back and listen to this series. I give all the places and all the sources. Because in the first class, we discussed something very important. This is how we started the whole series. I'm just bringing you Torah, why Jews need to be in Israel. Ridiculous statement, I know. So this is from a 500-year-old Kabbalist, Rabbi Avraham Azulai, who lived here in Hebron. He wrote in his book regarding you guys, the Jews of the diaspora, who reside outside the land. You want to know what he said? So let's talk about Mashiach gathering the exiles, which is the reason that comes up every time I speak to an Orthodox Jew. Oh yeah, I love Israel, it's great. Well, why don't you move here? Oh, well, when Mashiach calls, no joke. Like, are you joking right now? Because I could see the smirk on their face and the shifting in the chair and the uncomfortability when I say, why are you, a Jew, not here? They all know that they need to be here. But it's always an excuse, and the bottom line is, if they're in the corner, well, the rabbi, and so that. Okay, no problem. So, Mashiach, gathering of the exiles. Yes, it says that. So I'll skip to the point. After everything has to go down, which includes World War III, Gog and Magog, 2/3 of the world being destroyed, those of the Jews who have been fortunate enough to survive that destruction will be gathered to the land of Israel by Mashiach. When the Jews are only coming to Israel after the whole balagan, see their brethren, the ones that came to Israel before all this, When they see the ones that were already in the land becoming new creations and flying in the air to dwell in the Garden of Eden and to learn Torah from the mouth of the Holy One, blessed be He, then they will all gather and their heart will become worried. Their nefesh will become heavy and bereaved, and they will cause a ruckus aimed at King Mashiach and say to him, but surely we are also children of Israel like them. We're also Jews, we're also Israel. And why have they merited to become spiritual beings in their body and nefesh unlike us? And why are we lacking? They're basically angels and we're still us. To which Mashiach will reply to them, the attributes of the Holy One, blessed be He, are very well known, that everything is midah keneged midah, measure for measure. You get what you give. Those who used to be outside the land, after much turmoil, did their hishtadlut, their utmost, put in their effort to come to the land of Israel in order to merit the nefesh tahorah, the holy nefesh. The reason we go through the mitzvot and all the hardships is to refine ourselves to be a greater vessel for the light. And they were not concerned with their body, meaning their own safety, and their wealth. And they came by land and by sea. Today it's by air. And they were not concerned by drowning in the sea or getting robbed by land or taken captive by the decree of harsh overseers. Overseers, remember that. But for the sake of their spirit and soul, they did this. For the sake of Tikkun Olam, L'Shem Shamayim. And therefore they have returned to the spiritual, literally the spiritual, midah keneged midah, as they were. Now listen up now, my brethren, wherever you may be, if you are not in Israel, may this next part enter into your Jewish soul. Please hear me. Rabbi Azulai continues, but you, who had every chance to come to the land of Israel, just as they did, but you did not do so, for the love and covetousness of mammon, wealth, money, and you were concerned for your bodies and your lifestyle, which you have made a priority, while your ruach, your spirit and nefesh, you made mundane. That is why you remain physical, absent of their spirituality. And since you coveted the covetousness of wealth and comfort, behold, God will give you wealth without measure. For all the silver and gold and precious jewels and stones that have been taken by the sea throughout time, behold, the sea has been ordered to bring it all to the beaches of Jaffa. For everything that had sunk in the sea since the 6 days of creation until the time of Solomon and so on and all this good stuff, all the treasures beneath the ground and the earth will tunnels and give the wealth and spit it up on the seashore over there. And then Mashiach is going to give it to all the exiles, each according to whatever it is that they want. In other words, you wanted money, you wanted wealth, that was your reason for not coming here? Here you go. Here's all the gold and silver and jewels and everything. Great. You're all a bunch of Elon Musks. Congratulations. He concludes, and all this will go to those who were concerned about their own wealth and well-being and remain physical, sated within great wealth. So that's it. You just capped yourselves. But those who did not concern themselves with their bodies and mammon, well-being and wealth, as discussed, but only for their ruach and nefesh, their spirit and their soul, Hashem Yitbarach, the blessed God, will do with them many good things, making them into new spiritual creations and escort them to the terrestrial Garden of Eden. Now, it is not enough. This is what he says. This is what I'm saying. Now, it is not enough that the leaders of the Jewish communities in the diaspora don't discourage Aliyah, because they discourage Aliyah. But they are just as guilty if they do not promote it by making the move themselves or telling their community, listen, we got to wrap this up. Within 3 years, we're out of here. Within 2 years, we're out of here. Now, I don't know. The entire series, I have brought proof upon proof of why Jews need to be in Israel, which is one of, like I said, the more ridiculous things that I have ever had to say. And believe you me, if you've known me, I say ridiculous things. Saying that a Jew needs to be in Israel is like saying a fish needs to be in water. Oh, really? I don't know. Because if they're not there, if we are not there, we die slowly. So slowly that we don't even notice it. You know why we don't notice it? Because just as God calls this land the Holy Land, Eretz HaKodesh, that means by default, anything that is not Israel, it's not that it's not holy, it's the opposite of holy. Just as our sages say, and they say this, that Eretz Yisrael machkima, chacham makes you wise, they also say that outside of the land of Israel makes you metumtam, metamtemet. That means dumb, by the way. It is not enough that finally your great golden Savior, the one in whom Jews worldwide placed their trust and adoration to have their backs, has shown his true colors, making him no better than Barry, right? You want to give him 15? I'll give him 300. What have we been saying? You put your faith in men. That's your problem, okay? And kids, it hasn't even started yet. Wait for it. I don't understand why Jews don't believe prophecy. Over and over and over again, but then believe prophecy. Numbers 23:9. I just said this to somebody yesterday, a Jew living here in Israel. Doesn't get this, doesn't understand. Yeah, but America and we'll do Numbers 23:9. It is a nation, Israel, that will dwell alone, not side by side, no friends, because we have no friends. You'll see this, and will not be reckoned among the nations. And will not be reckoned among the nations, by the way, that is a wrong translation. Ubagoim lo itchashav, as in Israel will not care what the nations think about us or what they say regarding us. We will not count ourselves as one of the nations because we are not. This is according to the 5 books of Moses. We are not part of the nations. God separated us from the nations. Because we will dwell alone, as God said. And so whatever is happening now is prophecy being fulfilled. But understand, if you believe anything else, no, yes, and the nations together, side by side, Judeo-Christian values, are you insane? Do not rebel against the Torah. So again, you still don't understand that Edom, Esav, is not your friend. You still miss that. But don't take it from me. Again, no one cares about my opinion. We got prophecies for that too, such as Obadiah, an Edomite convert. So believe him when he says these things. It's just one chapter. Read that one chapter. And it speaks entirely of the destruction of Esav and the Western world. Christianity, Western world, led by the United States of America. Okay. There is no reconciliation. There's only complete and utter annihilation. There is no, oh yeah, they'll be redeemed and they'll do tshuva. Look what it says. And this is not on us to do, this annihilation. Yes, this is God saying that this will happen and he's the one that is going to do it. So how about just one verse from the chapter? Just shut. Obadiah 1:18. And the house of Jacob shall be fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. And the house of Esav shall become stubble, and they shall ignite them and consume them. And the house of Esav shall have no survivors, for the Lord has spoken. That is signed and sealed. The negative prophecies are only for Israel to turn, but for the nations, this is how they stay. That's it. Anybody saying anything different, please explain this to me. And so much more. How about this if that's not enough? Because I'm sure it's not. Please read Isaiah 63. Read the whole chapter. But the one that starts like this. Who is this coming from Edom with soiled garments from Botzra? This one who is stately in his apparel, girded with the greatness of his, as in his own strength? I speak with righteousness, great to save. And then in verse 4, for a day of vengeance was in my heart, and the year of my redemption has arrived. This is after he completely, the garments, yes, that is the blood. Why, God? Vengeance for who? Against who? Verse 5, and I looked and there was no one helping. Who is no one helping? And I was astounded that there was no one supporting. And my arm saved for me, and my fury that supported me. God is the one that is going to save Israel. Why? Because no one from the nations, none of the nations, I'm not talking about the individuals who come out, who leave idolatry and become Noahides. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the nations. None of the nations help Israel. That's why, day of vengeance. There was no nation that was helping God's people. And so God helped us himself. which is also a prophecy. And we will know right before this happens, because for us, when that happens, oh no, all our friends have left us. Oh, our bestest of all is the friends left us out to dry and is now supporting the ones that say they want to kill us. Maybe they also wanted to kill us all along. Maybe when our interests stop aligning, now they're our enemy. Oh no, Esav is showing his true colors. What do we do? Then there's no way out for us but up. Ein al mi lishen. There is no one for us to rely upon other than our Father in heaven. Yes, okay, we are currently seeing it. And Baruch Hashem that this is happening so slow that hopefully people will wake up and be able to do tshuva and come to Israel as soon as possible. Because, I mean, it's like watching you know what's going to happen. It's a car wreck in slow motion. So it's like, come on already. But okay, for one more soul, for one more soul, for one more soul. That's what is going on right now. And if this isn't still not enough for you, then consider the end from the beginning, the final redemption mirroring the first, Acharit Kereshit, the entire series that we gave on it. What do all our sages say? 80% of Israel did not leave Egypt. We know this. They were killed by God in the plague of darkness. 80%. V'chamushim yatzu Yisrael meMitzrayim. A fifth. For the only reason, why? Why did God take them? They were still part of Israel. They witnessed all the plagues. They saw the dismantling of Egypt. Yay, great, amazing. God, here the acting Mashiach Moshe Rabbeinu is now leading us. This is amazing. Time to go. Nah, I'm good right here. For only the reason that they didn't want to leave, especially when they saw that the Egyptians were no longer enslaving them. That's, by the way, another test that is going to happen. When you think that you are safe outside, oh, hell, look good. Look, all the pro-Palestine things, they've died down. We're good. We're safe. Everything is good now. We don't feel that urgency to go to Israel. 80%. That's that test. If you have to wait for things to be so bad to come here, you might not even be able to make it. And now I guarantee you are not aware of the contingency plans to evacuate Jews to Israel when that time comes. Yeah, it's terrifying, but there are actual contingency plans to evacuate Jews from the United States and the rest of the world to Israel. You know about this? Yeah. Why are there plans like this? Because those in the know absolutely know what's coming from all angles. You don't. And I promise you, living in a Jewish neighborhood will not protect you. What, you think they're afraid to cross the sidewalk? No, this is a Jewish neighborhood. Get out of here. Jewish watch. Come on, man. Seriously. And again, don't take my word for it. But believe the Ramchal and the Gra, the Vilna Gaon, right? Whose studies are based on the words of the Ari, who draws much from the Zohar, the words of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, whose works are alluded to in Daniel chapter 12. Speaking about this time. They all speak of what is and what will be. And if that's not enough for you, because I'm sure it's not enough for you or whichever rabbi you're going to take this to, then for the love of God, just open your eyes and look around you right now. At some point, damchem beroshchem. You'll know what that means. At the end of the day, there is nothing that your rabbis can say, because I have the entire Torah, the Tanakh, and the sages saying this and more. End of story. Like it's an open and shut case. I don't have 1,000 years to go through everything that says why a Jew needs to be in Israel. You say the Shema, is it there? You bench after you eat, is it there? You say thank you if you drink wine or if you have some grains, is it there? It's everywhere. You read the Korbanot, where do Korbanot take place? It's here. Okay, everything. Zecher Letziat Mitzrayim, why to bring you out, so I could bring you into the land of promise. You're reading the portion of the Spies. What is everything about? What is it about? Do I need to say more? I know I do. Oh my goodness. And if you're still glued to your rabbi, who will drag you down to the pit, then perhaps you should look to Moshe Rabbeinu. How about that? Okay? Let's look to Moshe Rabbeinu. Not Harav Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu, currently our rabbi. How do you think Moshe would react to see hundreds of thousands of supposedly God-fearing Jews living outside the land of Israel when they can all make Aliyah? Moshe Rabbeinu. We've learned about him. When there was one thing that he wanted more than anything was to merit to set foot in the land of Israel and establish it and fulfill the Torah, the mitzvot in the Torah that can only be fulfilled in the land of Israel. You cannot ignore these things any longer. You cannot turn a blind eye to the situation. You are no longer safe. Yes. But don't worry though. That final tickle in your heart, that fear, I'm about to address that as well, because that is exactly what is keeping you and your leaders from making aliyah. And this is your responsibility. Let's get back to the spies, shall we? Here we go. Torah, Numbers 13:27. They told him and said, we came to the land, this is spies, we came to the land to which you sent us, and it is flowing with milk and honey. And this is this fruit. Massive fruit, like, whoa, okay. So yes, the land is good, and look at the abundance, incredible. Sure, they say, your leaders will say, yeah, go, should I do it? Go visit Israel. It is, after all, a beautiful country. There's so much to see, from the Golan to the Galilee to the Shomron and the beaches of the Mediterranean. And of course, to fulfill your Jewy duty, put a cute little note in that brick wall in the Koisel. Have some falafel. Buy a little Magen David necklace. Take a few selfies with the Tzahal soldiers for social media. Show that you support Israel. And then come back home to your real home, where you really belong. To wherever that may be, but it's not in Israel. Now, as I've told you, I see things and make sure to have my eyes and ears open on all sides. So when I say that many influential rabbis in the diaspora are the spies of our day, I mean it. They'll give incredible teachings about the spies. I'm like, do you even realize what you're saying? The irony in this, that they're speaking about, what they did, and because of them, the Jews did not go. Just listen, and they speak about this, but you're them. Let's keep reading. So I understand that these are very hard claims that I'm making here, and I'm not naming any names, but you need to see these things for yourselves, right? Because we're not allowed to name names, he this and he that, unless they are absolutely, according to the definition, heretics. If they go directly against the Torah and say this isn't true and that's not true, that's heresy. Yes, you're commanded by halacha to point them out and to make sure that they do tshuva, and if not, you ridicule them right out because they draw people in. But we're talking about people over here, which I don't believe they're doing anything malicious. I believe that out of malice. I believe that they are just so blind because they're outside of Israel. And because of that, they can't even see what's going on. They can't even see that they are enabling this situation to happen. So they will continue to say, as reasons for not to come here, listen, and I'm sure you've heard this too. And because you're going to start saying this yourself, the people who live there, Israelis, they're very difficult, very hard people. They're so rude and they're so pushy. The Erev Rav is ruling the country, from the government to the court system to the secret service and to the military. Not only that, they hate Haredis and they persecute yeshiva students over here. And there are 2 million Arabs living within the borders of Israel itself, like Israeli Arabs. And God help you if you accidentally enter into their territory, you will be lynched. Not to mention the 1.5 million savages in the south over there in Gaza, led by Hamas, and Hezbollah firing rockets from the north, and ballistic missiles from Iran from the east, and Turkey threatening Israel's destruction as well, alongside almost all the Arab nations. You know what this sounds like to me? Sounds like the next 2 verses in Numbers 13. However, the land's great, great land. However, the people who inhabit the land, they're mighty, and the cities are extremely huge and fortified. And there we saw even the offspring of the giant. Oh, there's such... and the Amalekites dwell in the southlands. Yeah. While the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountain regions, the Canaanites dwell on the coast and alongside the Jordan, all around. Oh, yes, this is true. People of influence say these things, and your simple-minded Jew regurgitates this And then that fear sets in. Oh, I'll go visit, but it's not for me. When Mashiach comes, when Mashiach calls me, we already have been through that. And so you band together in your neighborhoods, bolting your doors, believing them, lying to yourselves, convincing yourselves that you are safe. Don't forget, contingency plans for a reason. You know what the crazy part is? Everything I just said, what they tell you over here, yeah, it's all true. So why is it Lashon Hara if it's true? Why is what the spies did and what your leaders are currently doing, why is that considered evil speech? It is because of the purpose that was behind everything. Why did I say this? For a purpose. And that is fear, to keep you right where you are. Again, if the excuse is the Erev Rav government and the obvious corruption, again, don't take my word for it. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, in the preface to the Zohar, gives the 5 types of Erev Rav, and he says they will completely rule Israel before the coming of Mashiach. I'm not talking about a day before the coming of Mashiach. In that final generation before the coming of Mashiach will be ruled completely by the Erev Rav. Not me. Take it up with the Rashbi. I double dog dare you. So the Erev Rav government, the obvious corruption, and that's why you're not making Aliyah. Then what can you say to the Jews who came to Israel? Oh no, we're not coming to Israel because it's a Erev Rav and it's a Chiloni government and da. Okay, no problem. Then you tell me now, over the last 2,000 years, the Jews who came to Israel during Roman rule, then the Byzantines, then the Sassanians, then the Umayyads, then the Abbasides, then the Crusaders, then the Ayyubids, and then the Mamluks, and the Ottomans, and finally, probably the worst of all, the British. But still, that did not stop Jews, God-fearing Jews, from coming to the land of Israel. We're talking about pagans and idolaters ruling here in Israel. And those who come here risk life and limb to be here because they were Jews. What do you call yourselves? We're not here for the state. For goodness sakes, we are here because we are Jews and this is our land and this is what the Torah says. I'm not interested in the godless, secular, Zionist rule of law here. I'm here for the land. You guys know exactly how I feel about government. You think you want to have it tough in Israel compared to the Jews risking everything to come establish roots here for the last 2,000 years? You got air conditioning here, people. We're not here for comfort. We are here because God said so, and His Torah demands it. Israel is God's gift. The land of Israel is God's gift, as is the Torah, as is the world to come. These 3 things God gave as a gift to the children of Israel, and all 3 must be acquired through hardship and sacrifice. That's who we are. That's how this is done. You think you can't handle it? I'm telling you, you can. And I'm not the first to say this. In fact, it was a Jew, who stood up in the crowd and quieted the spies among us. One man stood up from the crowd despite all the hardships being mentioned. Caleb silenced the people to Moses, and he says, "We can surely go up and take possession of it, for we can indeed overcome it." This is written in the Torah, yes? You think this is a problem for God? Listen to me now. All this is God's design. This is a design. This is on purpose to see who loves Him more than their own comfort. Then Joshua the Ephraimite joined Caleb the Jew and said, "The land we pass through to scout is an exceedingly good land. Tovah haaretz me'od me'od. Very, very, really, really." And I'm telling you, it is, despite everything. Gorgeous beaches, the breathtaking Kinneret, the orchards in Emek Israel and throughout the land. They go on for miles. Turned arid wastelands into blooming fields and swamplands into cities, and the cities and the towns built by our grandparents and parents while facing nonstop onslaughts from inside and outside. The forests through Judea and Samaria, the wildlife that grows here. The land is flourishing according to prophecy, and only Israel could make it so. For 2,000 years, this could not have happened because the majority were not Jews. They didn't belong here. Only Israel can unlock the land. This is what's happening. The four holy cities of Tzfat, Tiberias, Hebron, and Jerusalem. O Jerusalem, if I forget you, O Jerusalem, may my right hand forget its skill. May my tongue cling to my palate, if I do not remember you, if I do not bring up Jerusalem at the beginning of my joy. This is the city where God chose to dwell. Why would you want to dwell anywhere else? Now make no mistake, everywhere in Israel is Eretz HaKodesh, it is the Holy Land. But Yerushalayim, that's God's city. This is the place, Sheishkinet HaShechina, where the Shechina dwells. You have to want to see it. You have to want to feel it. To weep with her and encourage her, as said in Isaiah 52. Awaken, awaken, put on your strength, O Zion. Put on the garments of your beauty, Jerusalem, the holy city, for no longer shall the uncircumcised or the unclean continue to enter you. Every other block here, there's another church with crosses all over the place, not to mention the mosques. Everything will be gone. Shake yourselves from the dust. Arise, sit down, O Jerusalem. Free yourself of the bands of your neck, O captive daughter of Zion. That's you. Captive, you need to come here so Jerusalem can be free. Whatever is happening here, all the hardships, this is designed to test us, to see who is of the spies and who is truly Israel. Ironically, it is the Jew, yes, who spoke up. Do not let them keep you out of your home, your birthright, the place where you belong, the only place where your soul can unlock its full potential, only place. Joshua and Caleb continued to speak to the people, saying, if the Lord desires us, he will bring us to this land and give it to us, a land flowing with milk and honey. Im chafetz banu Adonai, vehevi otanu el haaretz hazot, unetana lanu eretz asher hi zavat chalav udvash. Behold, you can come to the land, because God does indeed desire us. The fact that we have done everything that we have done, despite everything, built this land with a shovel in one hand and a sword in the other, just like they came back to Jerusalem, the true return to Zionism, the original and only Zionism, not whatever is going on today, but back then, this is how we do it. God desires us. This is proof. As David said in Psalms 41:12, Bezot yadati ki chafatzta bi. With this I shall know that you desired me. Ki lo yaria oivi alai. When my enemies do not shout joyfully over me. Just the fact that Israel has existed and all other empires who oppressed us have not. Just the fact that within 78 years, miracles upon miracles have taken place right here. Enemies from all sides, war after war, enemies from within, even worse. The war for our bodies, the war for our souls, but we are still here. God has proven his desire for us. You owe it to all those who came before you and served and toiled, built and sacrificed, so you could live in comfort in the diaspora. Come while you still have a choice, because when the time comes, and make no mistake, it is approaching rapidly, you will be lucky if you can come at all. Do not be afraid. As our heroes said with the final warning to Israel, but you shall not rebel against the Lord, and you will not fear the people of the land, for they are as our bread. We will consume them if we come together as one. Their protection is removed from them, and the Lord is with us. Do not fear them. You can do this. We can do this because God already did this. No fear. Not everyone is going to make it because God and God alone knows our number. He is the one that counts us. And once we reach critical mass, once all the real God-fearing Jews are in Israel, the rest of the world loses any semblance of holiness because there's no reason for there to be any holiness outside. And believe it or not, you are the ones that can help to tip the scales, swiftly bringing about the final redemption. Pay your debts. Believe what God says. And do not end up like the spies and that entire generation who were kept out, or the 80% who were killed because they wouldn't move. Do not let anyone keep you out, not your rabbi, not anyone. No matter what they say, you have your instructions and they are clear as day. And so, for God's sakes, be a Jew. Come to Israel. I'm Tamir Kreisman from the holy city of Jerusalem, and I'm waiting for you. We all are. So thank you for joining me. Reach out to me for assistance, should you need it. That's why I'm here. This is a call to all Jews.